Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And in this video, we're going to be talking to you about breaking no contact makes things worse.
It usually does.
Yeah, I know, it's tough. Everything inside you wants to reach out, talk to them, try and repair it. And you can see that all the things that you did at the time of the breakup usually made things worse. Well, that goes the same for breaking no contact. Mm-hmm. And I try to warn you guys that time and time again, I see results when people focus on themselves, growing, healing, processing the breakup, and trying to move forward, right? Like we say, you want to let them go to get them back. Mm-hmm. And when you can do that and get to a great place, you're far more likely to turn it around than when you obsess about your ex, you watch your social media, and it causes you to spiral. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what happens in this email coaching. This is someone that did 2 email coachings with them. And in the first email, I made it very clear not to break no contact, and then it makes it worse. Actually, I'm going to read the little part that I wrote about that down at the end of the email. But watch what happens when he breaks no contact, and he gets very confused about what played out here. And he's not understanding why his ex's behavior changed. But I think it's pretty clear why it changes. So they said, hey, Coach Craig, I hope you're doing well. Just to give you an update with what's been going on the last few months since my coaching. I took your advice, took part of my advice. I'm gonna make that clear. Okay, you took part of my advice with what and how I should move forward with the situation and better myself. And I'm starting to understand attachment styles, relationships, and how avoidance love differently than anxious people. I've been doing the course, reading books, and bettering myself mentally and physically. All great stuff. Mm-hmm. It's what we want to see. But it's kind of like you're only as strong as your weakest moment. I was thinking about that today. And I'm going to be able to articulate it better in the future. But today I was thinking about it, and I was like, we really are only as strong as we are at our weakest during our breakup, because it's those weak moments that really ruin it for most of us.
And it's really where we're challenged the most. It's those weak moments that probably are our blind spots too.
Yeah, when we're the most anxious or scared. Mm-hmm. And watch what happens here. You're going to see. So rewind since the last of our coaching in November to about a week ago. I stayed in no contact fully for about 3.5 to 4 months. I was finally able to have a different mindset, positively, and genuinely feeling better about the whole situation, moving in the right direction. I took your advice on not posting much on social media and post something around Christmas time or something that was meaningful, and I did. She liked both my stories and was still watching my social media. I then post a 2025 highlight recap on Instagram on New Year's Eve, and she liked my post as well. Okay, so far my strategy's working. Okay. He didn't post much. He posted a few things, and she liked them all. So right. That's good. I stayed calm and didn't react at all to it. Okay, good. I also didn't reach out for our anniversary, which was in the middle of December. I was very anxious to reach out throughout all those important dates, but I didn't. Or does he? No. All right. A guy, remind you, he's an older gay guy that we were mutual friends with, asked me if it would be okay to text her happy birthday and catch up with her. I said, of course.
I don't know why that was an important detail.
I don't know either.
Okay. Thank you for that.
I guess he was trying to say that it would be somebody not romantically interested in her.
Oh, okay.
That could sabotage it or something.
Got it.
Right?
Okay. Just okay.
He has green shoes, a blue car. You're like, where are all these details?
Yeah.
Our mutual friend asked my ex if me and her had been talking lately or anything, and my ex told him that, quote unquote, we haven't been talking, but he might reach out for my birthday, though. All right, so it just goes to show what we say. Mm-hmm. Your ex is expecting you to reach out for their birthday. Mm-hmm. So he didn't, right? He said he didn't. I felt that was the right move to not contact on her birthday, especially with her thinking that. Yes, because then she'd be like, I can't believe he didn't reach out for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to getting that message and then be like,
I knew it.
I knew it.
Yeah.
And then over me. So I just kept working on myself and doing the course. And about a week ago, I was getting high suspicion that she was talking to a new guy, or at least interested in him, via social media. Okay, so he's stalking.
Mm-hmm.
And it can make you spiral.
It can. And we create stories. I don't know how he knows that, but sometimes we can see even just a new follow or a new ad or somebody new liking something.
A comment.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we create the story of this is their, undying love. And
Yeah.
So it could just be a random. I don't know how he knows that.
Well, let's see what happens. My anxiety kicked in badly one night last week. I responded to a story she made on Instagram about a painting she completed. I'll provide a screenshot on how the conversation went. Okay, so he broke no contact.
Mm-hmm.
He responded to the story on Instagram. He panicked. What do you think happened? Do you think it went well?
No, but I do want to note that it seems like the trigger was his fear of being replaced.
Yeah.
It was as soon as he saw that maybe she had a new follow or whatever it was, that was the trigger to say, oh my gosh, I need to step in before somebody else sweeps her away.
Yep.
Which is very common. It's a common fear.
Yeah. Oh, I understand. It's awful. But these are the things that make or break it. And when you break no contact, it usually doesn't go well. Because it doesn't just end there. It was a tiny little conversation. It was kind of like, hey, blah, blah, blah about the painting. Yeah, it's this and that. Oh, okay, cool. It was kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see what happens next. Winter break ended and she came back to school to finish up her last semester of college. 2 days after I messaged her, she deactivated her Instagram and my anxiety spiked again. Okay, so she all of a sudden deactivates the Instagram. Maybe she blocked him for a couple days.
Maybe.
Or maybe she really did deactivate it, panicked when he broke no contact.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like another huge trigger there is social media.
Mm-hmm. About 5 days later, I went on to TikTok where we're still friends, and I saw her comment on a guy's video, and the caption of his video says, "Shout out to my beautiful girlfriend recording this." I saw her like the comment. Right then and there, I knew the guy I was suspicious about a week prior to was her new boyfriend.
Wow. Some of you guys should really apply to the FBI, especially with how things are going right now.
We could use you. It should all people that are getting broken up with are researching, and we tell them it's your ex. Every file would be unredacted. We would know every single bit of information, starting from the early 19th century.
Oh, man. But I can see he's trying to put the puzzle pieces together. The triggers here are really clear. It's social media. It's him trying to figure out, is she dating someone new? Am I going to miss my chance?
Yep.
So, I could see where all this is coming from in him. And regardless, if she is dating someone new, if she's not, still no contact in this situation.
So he's got a bunch of questions here. When I found out, I liked a video she reposted on TikTok and she unfollowed me. So more panicking. He panicked. He liked another video and now she saw, oh no, I forgot he followed me on TikTok, or it made her feel uncomfortable all of a sudden, whatever it was, and she unfollowed. Okay. About 48 hours later, she then proceeded to block me. It's been about 4 days since she blocked me, and I'm confused by this. I don't know if this is a rebound since we broke up about 8 months ago and why she's acting like this all of a sudden. Well, I hate to say it, but the answer is clear. She's acting like this all of a sudden in response to your behavior all of a sudden. You broke no contact. You liked her story. You were stalking her. She knew you were stalking her, and it made her feel uncomfortable, right? Mm-hmm. Now, is that immature of her? Probably. Maybe a little bit immature, but this is often what happens when you break no contact.
Right. And at this point, if he suspects that she's in a new relationship, I think he might be creating a story of maybe she will reach out. Maybe she's interested in this guy or just starting to date. And if I reach out, it's going to put me back into that orbit. It's going to give me a little bit of stage time here so that I'll, have a chance with her before she actually commits to this guy. So he has a couple pieces of information, but he doesn't know for sure. I'm wondering really what's triggering him and what's causing him to reach out now. Like I had said before, either way, either way, if she's in a relationship or not, he needs to be able to respect her space. And at this point, especially if she's in a relationship, he needs to respect that space.
He panicked. He saw that she was probably liking some guy's photos. Maybe he was liking back and he was stalking both their Instagrams or something and could sense something was going on. Or he was at least suspicious that something was going on. And then, he found them on TikTok and we don't know for sure, but it's probably the case. I mean, she liked the comment and then she blocked him, right? Like if it wasn't him, then why would she block him?
Yeah.
But I think this is all directly correlated with you breaking no contact and liking things, messaging her and not waiting for her to reach out. I wouldn't say this is a rebound. It was 8 months later.
Yeah, it's a good amount of time.
That's a good amount of time. That's not like, 2 or 3 months or something out of a long relationship. This is 8 months. And it's tough, but, he's saying he feels like all the hard work is slipping away, but you got to do the work for yourself. I know we do it a large part to get our ex back. And if that's where you have to start with it, that's fine. But you got to get beyond that at some point and say, I'm doing this for me. Because look at how easily you succumb to your anxiety when you got scared. And my point is that if you don't get stronger in these moments, it will happen again in your next relationship when the new person pulls away, or if for some reason she comes back and you get back together again. When you get anxious, it's in those difficult moments where you most have to stay on course.
And I'll say, it's also 8 months from the breakup for you too. And I could see by looking at her social media, you still had access to her social media, but it seemed like you might have been using it as a way to find an excuse to reach out and to find out what's going on. It's normal. A lot of us do it, but we have to be mindful of where we're focusing our thoughts and where we're focusing our energy. Like I'd said, in whatever information that he might have found out through her social media, albeit maybe there's some outliers to that, but whatever information he could have found, he still would have been in no contact. She had still broken up with him. She was still curious to see if he was going to reach out. It really is up to her to say, okay, I am open to having a conversation or revisiting this. I could see he was trying to almost find an in. And I know it's frustrating to see your ex with someone new. That's never a comfortable feeling.
It's brutal.
It's
horrible.
Never a comfortable feeling. We have to be able to manage our anxiety and try to not insert ourselves. It's hard to see your ex living their own life outside of you and making those connections that you have no control over.
Yep.
So what I see here is somebody who does have the capacity for discipline. I mean, he talked about, being in solid no contact for a while, but I could see how, those anxious thoughts slowly started chipping away. So the consistency is hard.
Causing the crack.
Yeah.
The pressure causes you to crack.
Yeah. And sometimes that happens. We feel like we're good. We've been in no contact for some months. We're like, okay. But then we see something that really stuns us or that really, just makes us crack. It makes us want to act, and it strikes up all that separation anxiety. It can feel like we're one day out of the breakup again.
Yep.
We have to be able to continually care for ourselves.
Yeah. But, the confusion of why she started doing all these things, it's not that confusing. It was a direct relation or correlation with you reaching out, breaking no contact, liking her stuff, and she probably felt uncomfortable. It's tough. But as you can see, this is another example of what often happens when you reach out to your ex and break no contact and you don't wait for them to reach out.
Yeah, and many people, they do have their exes on social media, and for a lot of people, their thought is, well, if that person doesn't interact with me or interfere with my current relationship, then, it's social media. But for others, they might have exes on their social media, but once interactions start happening, they're thinking, well, I'm in a relationship and I need to respect this relationship. And so they set up those types of boundaries. So, here it's all about respect. It's all about giving that other person space and, trying to do as best as we can moving forward.
Keep focusing on the personal growth. It's going to pay off one way or another. Even if she doesn't come back, all of these skills, all these, changes you're going to make where you're more confident are going to pay off for you one way or another. Mm-hmm. All right. So hopefully this one's been helpful. If you'd like to get our help personally, you can do that on my website, askgreg.net. I do email coaching and I do Zoom calls. Coach Victoria is also available for Zoom calls.
I'm here whenever you'd like to chat or share your FBI skills with me.
There's always stuff to learn, isn't there? Yeah. Just click on her name on the top of the website to schedule with her. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.